Good morning. We are here at the Kiesler Family Building at the John Reeves Tennis Center, and I'm joined here by two terrific scholar athletes, Marga Vanderlinde and Robbie Young. Marga's a track and field athlete, and Robbie's on our men's tennis team. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this early for you?
No.
Well, Marga, we'll go ahead and start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because based on your accent, you're not from around here.
No, I'm not. So I'm a senior. I'm on the track team, but I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. So a little bit further south than people around here. But it's been a great 4 years at Wofford, and we're an exchanger for anything.
Terrific. And Robbie, how about you?
Yeah, I'm from a lot closer. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, a senior as well. I've grown up going to Wofford since I was about 8 or 9 years old, so I've had a close connection to this school, and it's also been unbelievable 4 years, so very happy to be here.
You go by fast.
Very fast, very
Too
fast.
Too fast. You're not ready to go?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, Robbie, you're 6'7". Do you feel like that gives you an advantage in tennis?
Parts of it, yes. Helps with the serve a ton. Movement, maybe I don't move as well as some of the smaller guys, but definitely helps with my serve. And tennis is, for me, getting off the court quicker. Like, faster points, the better. So being tall does help with that. I can hit a big serve and hopefully keep points short. Yeah.
Good. And Marga, tell us a story about being in South Africa.
Okay. So I recently just went home over Christmas break, and I took my roommate with me. She's from Kentucky, and she's never been to the continent of Africa. And so she spent Christmas there and everything, and on the way back, she said, Marga, why would you ever come to America if you have this? And I said, you know what? Fair question. I don't know. But no, it's been great, and it was great to show her around. But South Africa would always be home, but for now, I'm enjoying my time here. So.
I know, from the looks of it, you are. She's busy. For those of you who don't know, Marga's also the student body president, so she's a terrific student athlete, does great academically, athletically. She's won a lot of awards, but she's also the student body president, and I can't imagine that. How has that been?
It's been great, honestly. I always joke and say that, you know, I have the time because I don't go home over the weekends, so, which is true, but also I think I have a great support system with the student life staff and my coaches being so supportive of my schedule. So it's definitely, it takes a village, and I certainly have the right village around me.
What's been your favorite part about being the student body president?
Good question. I think definitely representing the students and their needs, but also getting to meet a lot of the people that you hear of, you know, walking on campus, all the building names, you know, and you can actually meet those people and see the impact that they've made on campus. And also why they want to stay involved and why they want to give back, because Wofford today is such a different Wofford than it was 50 years ago, but yet still those classes want to give back and want to stay involved, and to hear their why really makes an impact. So I think that's been my favorite part so far.
And Robbie, what's been your favorite part about being at Wofford?
It has to be the tight-knit community. That was one of the first things I noticed on my visit here. Our tennis coach, Rod Ray, knew just about everyone on campus. Like even the grounds workers, he knew everyone, and now I've made so many close friends across not just the tennis team, but all other sports, and some like non-athletes as well, and I just love how close the relationships I've been able to form, and it's just been really wonderful. So.
Terrific. What would you say to a prospective student athlete that's considering Wofford?
If you value close relationships and having people that really care about you, then this is a great spot for you. There are times where it could be a little tough because people do care, they'll push you and they'll be on you, like professors especially. You're in small classes. At a big school, you're not going to have that, but here I'm in classes size of maybe like 20 people, And if I'm falling behind or not doing as well in something, the professor can reach out, like just text me personally, just be like, hey, like, what are you doing? And sometimes that can be a little tough, but I think in the long run it really helps you and pushes you to be a better person and student. So.
Marga, what about you? What would you say to a prospective student athlete considering Wofford?
I think, so as I mentioned, I went home over Christmas break and my mom said, this is a great time to clear out your drawers now that you're here. And so I did. And I stumbled across my acceptance letter from Wofford. And rereading it now 4 years later, I think made such a bigger impact than it did, the day I got it. And in one of the paragraphs, it said, I can't remember the wording, but it said something in the line of, at Wofford, you'll have many opportunities on and off the courts or the field. All you need to do is just say yes to those opportunities. And I think that's exactly what I would say to any prospective student athlete coming to Wofford. Wofford is definitely a place that gives you opportunities. You just have to grab it with both hands, no matter how far it is out of your comfort zone, even better, So I think say yes to as many things as you can. Of course, not overextending yourself, but just broadening your horizons is absolutely great. And I think Wofford's the place for that. So.
You've certainly got the most.
I did. I think maybe I'm talking from personal experience, but it worked out in my favor.
You have. Tell us about the trip to New York for Craig Melvin's first day. Craig Melvin, the Today Show, Wofford graduate, and Marga had a chance to go up there and see him and others on his first day with Savannah Guthrie.
Yes, it was exciting, and all thanks to President Samhad for extending the invitation to the 4 students and letting us tag along. But it was a great day. It was. He didn't know we were coming. Craig said, because I spoke with him afterwards, and he said, I thought some people from the college, Ms. Hurley and President Samhad was up, but all the others, he didn't know they were coming, so it was quite a big surprise. But Campus Union presented him with a proclamation because he was also on Campus Union when he was a student here. And so the morning I got there, I didn't really know that I was going to have a section or 30 seconds or a minute on TV. I thought I'm going to say, congratulations, there you go, and, nice, good job. And the producer came up to me of the Today Show, and he's a great guy, but he kind of walked me through everything I need to say, and he said, you have about a minute, and you're going to be mic'd up, you have to stand in this spot, it's all live, so you can't mess up. And I said, oh, perfect, this is great. But it was amazing, and Craig is just the absolute best, a great guy, and so kudos to everything he's done, and the fact that he still is so proud of Wofford and also gives back to Wofford a lot, time and effort. But it was great. Definitely freezing. We were freezing up there, but it was worth it. So it was just amazing. Mm-hmm.
Were you nervous at all?
I was at first, because when the camera turned on me, there's this live monitor that you can see what's actually happening on the screen. And as soon as I saw myself, I was like, oh no, that's not the place to look. Let's focus on what's happening here. But I think it's so easy just to talk to Craig, and just because he's done so much, and everything that comes his way, he definitely deserves. So really just speaking from the heart and congratulating him and being there on his first day was very special. Mm-hmm.
Well, you were terrific, and is that something that you might consider doing?
I think so. I think everybody has a story to tell, and I would love to be a part of telling their story in whatever capacity that may look like. I don't exactly know, but that is definitely something that I'm interested in. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Well, I think you've got a bright future if that's something that you want to do.
Thank you,
So,
for sure.
Robbie, what's been your favorite class at Wofford?
Ooh, my favorite class? I'm a finance major, and I originally was a psych major, and I switched to finance. I loved both classes. Obviously enjoyed the finance ones a little bit more. Probably last semester I took a class with Dr. Swicegood. It's called Investments. It was quite challenging, but I was very interested in the class. He really pushed us to critically think through everything. It was a lot of modeling, which I liked, like doing a lot with numbers, and then also combining a lot of qualitative facts. That class was really tough, but I feel like I learned the most in it. And he's a really nice professor, spends time with you out of class if you need help. So I'd say that was my favorite.
What would you like to do when you graduate? What would be an ideal job?
So I actually have a job already. I'm going to go work at Regions Bank in Charlotte, North Carolina, start in June as a credit analyst. I worked there this past summer as an intern, and then I got a return offer. I took it and looking forward to it. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a nice
terrific.
nice thing to know going into my senior year.
Yeah.
I've been able to really just focus on like my tennis and my last few classes and not have to have that hanging over my head. So it's been nice.
A little bit about tennis. Can you talk a little bit about the outlook for this season?
Yeah, so so far we're 4-3, and we play Charleston tomorrow actually, and that'll be a good match. All 4 of my years we've kind of finished middle of the pack. We've never finished like top 3, but we've never finished like bottom 3. We're usually around that 4 to 6 range in our conference. But this year we have a lot of young guys. Only like 2 of us that were in the starting lineup last year are in the lineup this year. And we have a lot of young guys who are very, very talented, and I think every match they're growing in confidence, playing a little better. It's really cool to see too, as a senior, I'm looking and I remember like dealing with the emotions as a freshman playing in the lineup or like sophomore year and being a little nervous, and then slowly as you start to get a few wins, you feel more confident in yourself, and seeing the younger guys develop confidence and play better each match. So hopefully we can do really well this year.
Well, I hope so too. And you're a leader, senior leader. Can you talk a little bit about what that means and being a leader, and have you learned anything about being a leader?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I've learned is even on the days where I don't feel well, I have to kind of hide it and give more energy to guys, even if I'm not really feeling it. Like tennis it's an individual sport, so you're out there by yourself, but you're also playing for your teammates. And so one thing I've learned is watching the older guys before me is the importance of like getting loud and cheering for your guy like right next to you. Or our courts is, if you don't know, it's 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. So sometimes looking through the fence and like shouting down to the guys who are playing, really trying to be active and vocal. Just because since it is solo, you can kind of be quiet and then you can get in your own head a lot thinking about what's going wrong, and it's pretty easy to spiral. So just being very vocal and reaching out to the guys while they're playing. If I see someone hit a good shot, like compliment it every single time, even if I'm not playing well or like maybe I could be losing, but still doing my best to support the other guys as well.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Do you have a good Rod Ray story?
Yeah, I have a lot of Rod Ray stories. I've known Rod Ray for a long time. We went to the same church when I was 9 years old. His son and I played on the same church basketball team. I've came to his tennis camps over the summer since I was 10 years old, and then I ended up working them in college. So I've known Rod for a long time. So one of my best Rod Ray stories, though, he has a lot of crazy stories. He's been through a lot. One of my favorite stories is how he always says, instead of saying Chipotle, he always goes, "Let's go to Chipotle, guys. Let's go to Chipotle." And then it's kind of become a joke on our team. Every single time he's like, "Where y'all want to eat?" We're all like, Chipotle. And now he's kind of got on it and just laughs about it. But and then sometimes he just loves working us. One time we were reading a book, like an interim, we were reading a book about David Goggins, and he has us doing burpees in the circle while we're reading the book about David Goggins, and we're getting really fired up about Goggins and push-ups and stuff, and he just has great energy, and it's like every day, he's going to bring it, so you have to be ready. It's fun.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, it was the one, Living with a Seal. It was Jesse Zimmer, Living with David Goggins. We read that over interim, and after like the first page where Jesse had to do like 100 pull-ups, Rod looked at us and goes, "Welcome to interim, guys." Like it was going to be a tough one, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, terrific. Marga, what about the outlook for the track program this season?
Yes, so we are entering conference week. So we have indoor conference this weekend at VMI in Virginia. We're very excited. Over the last 4 years, I think 4 years, yeah, since my freshman year, we've ended second at conference every year. So we are really trying. We're close. We're so close.
It's to beating Sanford.
Yes, beating Sanford. They are a bigger
They're
team
good.
than we are.
Yeah.
So in track, it doesn't really matter the size of your team. You can enter as many athletes that you would like. But at Wofford, we do multiple events where at a bigger school, probably you would have one athlete do one event, not to tire them out. But yeah, so we'll see. We're very excited. I think the morale's high and the spirits are high, and everyone's coming together. We also score differently, so women and men score for themselves. So the goals are really, they've been stepping up this week, especially at practice. We show up when we need to show up. So I think that's important, and we're excited. Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow, so fingers crossed.
Good. What's your favorite event?
So my favorite event is probably 400 hurdles, but that's an outdoor event, and that's what I've been doing my whole life really. We don't have indoor in South Africa because it's summer during the January, February, March months, so it's quite a adjustment coming here and doing indoor. But I think 400 hurdles, because it's still a sprint, but you have to focus on every obstacle coming your way, so you don't have as much time to think about everything. I feel like 400 is, you can think about a lot of things while still running, where the 400 hurdles kind of breaks your concentration every time, which is what I like. And my height helps with it. It's definitely a tiring event, but I always say the event chose me. I didn't choose the event. If I could choose, I would not do that. But no, that's definitely my favorite event.
Was there an athlete that you looked up to as a kid?
I remember, well, definitely South African athletes, and we're such a small country, so you would know more of the people around you. But I think Cindy McLaughlin is a very, amazing athlete, especially in the 400 hurdles. For a long time, there hasn't been, records breaking, at every Olympics, but now with her in the game and Femke Bol, they have been a great competition for each other. So just watching them, and Cindy just brought out a book that I'm still needing to read, but I think she's really inspiring. Mm-hmm.
What have you learned about being a leader?
I think, echoing what Robbie said, I came in with strong seniors on the track team that was also very involved in the campus as well. So I think that's also why I tend to be involved other than the track, but learning from them, feeding off of their energy, because it really is that you feed off of the energy of your coaches and your seniors. And I think keeping that high, keeping morale high is one of the unwritten rules of being an upperclassman. So just showing up every day regardless of what goes on outside of track. When you're there for the team, and you kind of block everything else out, and then you just go and give it your all for those 2 or 3 hours.
What Johnny Bomar story do you have? Johnny's the head track and field coach, great guy.
Yeah.
Funny.
Very funny. I mean, gosh, what story don't I have? Trying to think. He's a very funny guy. You never know when he's serious or when he's joking, because there's always that fine line.
Right,
yeah, very much so. Trying to think. What was it? Oh, I think it was my freshman year, and we didn't take the bus up. We took the little minivans, and they said, if we leave at 6 a.m., you can sleep on the bus for a little bit. I think we competed, I don't know, somewhere near here, 2 hours drive, not very far. And he said, okay, well, I'm warning you, if I drive, I have aux, like on the speakers, I can decide the music. And we're like, that's fine, that's fine. And we got in the car at 6 a.m. and it was the hardest rap that I've ever heard in my entire life. It wasn't even the typical, you know, Drake or Kendrick. I don't even know who it was, but it was at 6 a.m. in the morning blaring in our ears, and we couldn't say anything. We were just like, that's great, you know, it's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for driving us.
Didn't sleep.
No sleeping, really. And he just got so into it. He's like, this is what I need to stay awake to drive. And we're like, we want to be there safe. And if we get there tired, that's fine. But safety would be our first priority. So thank you.
Yeah.
And there's a ton. I mean, I can't even think about all of them, but yeah, no, that was one of my first track meets ever, so I think that one really made an impact in his rap. Love for rap.
Well, I went over to see him yesterday and with Ryan Price, and we're sitting there, and he comes out of his office. He's not wearing shoes, and Ryan says, "Where are your shoes?" And he goes, "Well, I wasn't expecting company." I mean, just like that. But with that dry, anyway, it was funny. Yeah, Robbie, what do you like to do for fun?
For fun, I love playing video games. Honestly, like outside of tennis, I don't have as much time now as a college athlete. In high school, I was a big gamer. Just playing with my friends, we'd get on PlayStation and probably stay up too late playing games together. But beyond that, also, something maybe people don't really know a ton of me is my teammates do. I'm a big fiction reader. I love reading. I just read Lee Berdugo's Six of Crows. I don't know if anyone's ever read that book. And then the second one, Crow Kingdom, super good. That's how I pass time in the van rides on away trips. And so I love spending my time, if I do have free time, either reading or playing video games.
If you could have dinner with one person, who would that be?
I think Jackie Robinson. That'd be really interesting.
Number 42.
Number 42. That movie was one of my favorite movies of all time. Top 5 for sure all time. I think his story's incredible. I think he has so much to like teach. I mean, his like what he had to go through, all the hate he had to deal with, and then still persevered. I think is just so incredible. I think it'd be very, very interesting to pick his brain.
Yeah, how he persevered, what was going through his mind, because you know you're going to face challenges in life, all shapes and forms.
Exactly. I'm sure he felt like quitting so many times, and I know he was getting death threats, not just to him, but his wife and child, and I don't know how you can deal with that and still go out and be a great player as well. So his mental fortitude would be super interesting to look into.
That's terrific. All right, Marga, what do you do for fun in your spare time?
What do I do for fun? I think I have a big record collection that I kind of started collecting here in freshman year, and I bought a record player off of Facebook Marketplace. And so put that on some days, or other days me and my roommate go play pickleball, which is really fun. Recently got into that, so highly recommend for anybody that's looking for something to do, not as strenuous as tennis, but just super fun. So that's kind of what I do. Mm-hmm.
If you could have dinner with one person, who would it be?
Yes. I have two. So the one for track related would be Nafi Thiam. She's an athlete from Belgium. She's a heptathlete, and she is incredible. She's the only heptathlete to win 3 Olympic gold medals back to back, which I think is just amazing. And I think I would love to just meet her and hear her stories. And then the other one, so I grew up actually watching more tennis than track because my mom's a huge Wimbledon fan, huge. So winter months or June, July would just be reserved for Wimbledon. And she loves Roger Federer, and I kind of grew up with that love too. And his mom is actually South African, so I would love to go have a sit down and dinner with him. And I think he has a ton of stories to tell. And he's just a great guy. Not that I know him personally, would love to, but he is the gentleman of the game, and I would love to have dinner with him.
Did you meet Savannah Guthrie when you went to New York?
I met her on the TV. That was the only. Yes.
She's a huge
Really?
Federer.
Okay.
That's why
That's why I asked.
That. But she's big. Yeah.
Really big Roger Federer fan. No, he's great. So.
Well, our time is winding down, but do you have any questions for me? Nothing's off limits. You can anything you want, as long as it's appropriate.
Right.
I remember the first time you and I met.
Yeah?
Yeah. Out in front of J-Riz.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And you asked me about the coats.
I did. Yeah. That was with Omar, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember. I think, we're kind of finishing up. We're not going to be here for the next ever again, probably, as students. But you just started. So in 10 years' time, what would you like the athletic program to be like at Wofford? What would you like to keep, and what would you like to change? And where do you want to see it?
That's a great question. Well, I'd love to see, all of our sports compete for a Southern Conference championship and have the opportunity to play in an NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. I would love to see that. Mm-hmm. Who knows with college athletics? It's gone crazy right now, so I don't even know what college athletics is going to look like, 10 years from now. But, my goal is for every student athlete to leave here having an amazing experience, not only athletically, but academically. Mm-hmm. And I think if that happens, I'd feel great. I'd feel great about that.
Mm-hmm. Good answer.
I have a question. So what kind of spurred you or pushed you into this direction, into this AD role? Like why, I guess, what was your original passion or reasoning for wanting to pursue staying with college athletics?
Well, that's why the student athlete experience is so important to me, because I was a student athlete and I went into college athletics because of how I was treated, as a student athlete. I was non-scholarship, Division III, but I got to know, my athletic director, and he helped me. He helped me get an internship, and then I applied to graduate school at Ohio State and got in, and I was off and running. Did 2 internships after I got my master's. So I didn't get my first job in college athletics until I was 26. Oh, wow. But I thought it would be a great way to give back, and do something that's fun. College athletics a lot different than it is now. I mean, back when I got in, it was probably 80% education, 20% entertainment. Now I think it's flipped. Mm-hmm. It's big entertainment now. With the TV contracts and NIL and all the other stuff that goes with it. Yeah. What else you got for me?
What's your favorite thing about Wofford so far?
Oh, just how beautiful the campus is, and the coaches and student athletes. We have some amazing coaches here who have done great stuff, and I think they're gonna do, great stuff. And then the student athletes, I'm just amazed, sitting here with you, just how smart, articulate, well-rounded. What you want to do. And hasn't just been you two. I mean, it's every student athlete I talk to in all sports. I'm fortunate to be over in the activities building where, football and soccer's and track. So just the bump in time that I get with student athletes in the hallway, and when I talk to them, it's just, it really brings me back in, no matter what kind of a day I'm having, but it puts things into perspective about why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I have a question for Marga.
Yeah.
Specifically. So,
All right.
on the tennis team, we have a ton of international players. Two of my roommates, one's from Spain, one's from England. We have a Swedish guy, Italian guy, Scottish guy, so all over the country.
Or world, excuse me. How have you noticed being from another country help you, or maybe hinder you in your roles like student athlete, president, everything?
How has it helped me or hindered me? Good question. I think it's definitely helped me a lot because I grew up in a different environment with different norms and just different food and, so a lot of different things, but also you always watch the movies and grew up with Disney Channel. And so when I got here, I think after my first semester, I went home and they're like, how is it? And I said, it's exactly like the movies. And when I told the people in America that, and they're like, really? We don't think that. And I'm like, of course you wouldn't, because this is based on your reality. But I think it has definitely helped me being more, I guess just a little bit more independent. If you're from a different country, you don't have your support system here. You have to create your own support system. You have to kind of just be more knowing where you're working towards, I guess, putting yourself out there. But it has definitely been an asset, I think. And I have the best family and friends back home, so they always support whatever I do. And Wofford has become my immediate family here. So I definitely came to the right school. I don't think a lot of other internationals have the same experience that I do. I know some of my friends from South Africa, they also came over the same time that I did. But a lot of them went back home just for various reasons. So I'm very fortunate to be able to say that it was a great choice and a great experience. But it has helped me in so many ways. I mean, but just in general, I think, and you also learn to grow up a little bit faster because you have to do everything by yourself, and that is definitely a good thing. So, but yeah, that's what I would say. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or anything else you'd like to say?
I'm good.
I'm good as well.
You're good?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. I know this is the, third episode, and I really think this just puts a mark on what you said you were going to do at the college, and just creating that personal relationships with student athletes, and putting a face to the name and being there and showing up. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Really do appreciate it. I knew immediately when the first time you spoke to all the athletes, you gave us all your phone number.
Yeah.
And right away I was like, well, that's so cool. I don't know. I can't think of, that didn't happen previously, and I have a bunch of friends playing at multiple schools, some Power 4, other mid-majors, and none of them have ever had that experience, so really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been great because many of them have reached out via text or a phone call for different reasons. So it's another opportunity for me to connect with them and get to know them, and I think I've gotten more out of it than they have, honestly, So you're always open. You have my cell.
We do.
You got it.
We might even call you after graduation too, and just stay in touch.
I hope you do, and that's another reason why I do it. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Okay. Well, this has been from the athletic director's desk, and Robbie Young, Marga Van Linde joined me today, and just so impressed with them, and looking for great things ahead. All right?
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great day, everyone.